Which finding, if true, would most directly support the researcher's hypothesis? Ad recall measures how memorable an advertising campaign is. To provide advertisers with information about their ad's memorability, a social media site regularly surveys users about whether they remember ads they had recently interacted with on the site. In a study that drew on the survey data, advertising researcher Kristen Sussman and colleagues noted that different kinds of social media interaction involve different levels of cognitive engagement. Commenting on or sharing a post is more cognitively demanding than is clicking on embedded links or on a like button. The researchers hypothesized that interactions indicating high levels of cognitive engagement with ad content would result in relatively high levels of ad recall. So the text highlights the term ad recall, and it is simply measures how memorable an advertising campaign is. And so a social media site surveys users about how they remember ads and how they interact with ads on their site. So in a survey, the researchers noted the different kinds of social media interactions, and they showed different levels of cognitive engagement, where commenting or sharing a post was more cognitively demanding than clicking on links or the like button. So the hypothesis here is that interactions that indicate high levels of cognitive engagement with the ads would show a high level of ad recall, so they'd be able to memorize or remember these ads better. So let's look at the answer choices. A. Users who interacted with an ad were much more likely to do so by clicking on the ad's like button than they were to interact with the ad in any other way. This is incorrect because the hypothesis focuses on how high levels of cognitive engagement with the ad would result in high levels of ad recall. So, commenting or sharing a post which shows high levels of cognitive engagement would mean they'd be able to remember the ad better than if people were clicking on links or the like button. But option choice A doesn't show or support this hypothesis in any manner, because it instead highlights the comparison between people who click the like button or interact with the ad in any other way. Therefore, we can eliminate A because this does not support the hypothesis. B. Users who interacted with an ad were significantly more likely to purchase the advertised product at the time they saw the ad than were users who saw the ad but did not interact with it. This is incorrect because the focus of the text isn't on purchasing a product, it's on ad recall, so remembering the ad. So because option choice B focuses on an extraneous piece of information, purchasing the advertised product, and not on the cognitive engagement, we can eliminate B. C. Compared with users who clicked on links in an ad, users who commented on that same ad were significantly more likely to remember seeing the ad when surveyed 2 days later. So this seems to be the correct answer, because this correctly compares the levels of cognitive engagement through different social media interactions, which are clicking on ads, which shows a low level of cognitive engagement, and users who commented on the ads, which shows a high level of cognitive engagement. And it properly supports the hypothesis by supporting the detail that high levels of cognitive engagement lead to high levels of ad recall. So in this case, the users who commented on that same ad were able to remember that ad 2 days later, as compared to users who just clicked on the links. So this properly shows that people who had high levels of cognitive engagement with the ad were able to have high levels of ad recall as compared to people who had low levels of cognitive engagement. So this probably supports the researcher's hypothesis. So C seems to be the correct answer. D. Although users who shared an ad were highly likely to remember details from the ad when surveyed 2 days later, those same users tended to forget those details when surveyed again a week later. This is incorrect because this doesn't properly compare high levels of ad recall with high levels of cognitive engagement leading to high levels of ad recall. Because in this case, it shows that people who had high levels of cognitive engagement remembered the ad content for a few days, but then forgot it later, which shows a low level of ad recall, not a high level of ad recall. So this does not support the researcher's hypothesis. Instead, it disproves it. So we can eliminate D. And therefore, the correct answer is C.